affordable, and then we're knocking it off 50% too. So
Yeah.
the staff over here at Quebedeaux, thank you so much.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. And you'll hear a little bit of music in the background. That's the old good Cajun stuff that we got going on here. But it's going to be every Thursday night, the Reservation Roundup with Coach Kevin Cook. Every Thursday night. Now, if we do have a Thursday night game like the Pine Prairie game that's coming up, that will adjust. Probably have to go to a Tuesday night on that week.
Yes,
but
sir.
that will be the only time that we do this. So thanks again to Quebedeaux. Remember, come in on Thursday nights. If you make sure you're wearing your Tioga gear, you do get 50% off of everything on the menu. That's steaks. That's everything across the board. You get 50% off.
Yeah.
So going into that here now, we're going to talk a little bit about the game last Friday night down south at Bro Bridge, and man, did that game live up to the hype. I've been looking forward to that game all off season because how exciting it was last year playing against that Bro Bridge team.
Well, 2 years worth of good football. You got your money's worth in either year, and we knew going into the ball game that it was going to be a 50-50 ball game. That it was going to be you could flip a coin to see who was going to win it. We were blessed to get on them early.
Yes, sir.
And I think it just took them a while to kind of catch their breath because we were on top of them that fast. But then it was exactly what we thought it would be. Just kind of tick for tack, and we were very. The Lord was very gracious to us at the end to hang on for the win.
Yes.
So
big start right there. Of course, we get the ball, to start the ball game.
Yeah.
And I really thought Case did a phenomenal job of running the offense in that first series with the read option. He did a great job. I mean, he had over 60 yards on the night, and he found a seam in the middle early on in that first drive where, he would fake the handoff to Adams and then run it right up the gut for a big chunks of yardage at a time. And finally going to bring it in. And can't say enough, and we'll even talk about this here in a little while as well. Travis Adams coming back in, his first game, first looks of the year.
Yes.
Came in there, had 3 touchdown runs, and just really set the tone with the offensive line making big pushes through that Bro Bridge defense.
He did, and, so glad to have him back, and when you're reading the option with Travis Adams as being one of the options, it's going to draw a lot of attention, and that was – what really helped Case to be able to find a crease to get in for himself, and so it was really nice to be able to have Travis. I'm just glad Travis is healthy, just as a person. I'm glad to see him up and going, and then one of the he doesn't carry the football, but one of our seniors actually got to make it back last week, one of our down linemen, and so it was great to have him back. He was limited in what he felt like maybe playing, but I feel like this week he'll be back full force in Preston Ivy. So it was good to just have a little bit more depth there and a little change up. He's significantly lighter than our other nose, and so you kind of get a little power and a little speed, and you can mix it up a little bit. So
well, they were definitely able to get to the quarterback for that Bro Bridge, especially early on. Like we said, Travis marches down the field. Case Malone leading the offense, the sophomore quarterback. They march down there. Travis scores pretty easily, running through. And second play of Bro Bridge's offense, and that was our Southern Air cool play of the game. You could see Max Cadmus just read the eyes of the quarterback.
Yep.
And, man, he did a phenomenal job. Intercepts the ball, runs it back.
Right.
Within a minute and a half, it felt like 2 minutes after that, it happened again. We kicked the ball off. And that time, Josh Lloyd reads it for like a 59-yarder. And they do a great job of reading the quarterback's eyes. And then, of course, the Jacorian Norris fumble that he just stripped out. And just the defense has been you need to get maybe some type of chain, like the takeaway chain.
Well, we used to have the turnover tomahawk, and we put that on top of the lockers and hadn't pulled it back off, I don't guess, in a couple years. But yeah, I know that's popular. It's just, it's not part of our personality.
I got you. Yeah, your defense has been lights out with turnovers.
They have done a great job, not only getting turnovers, but producing points off of those turnovers, and in creating a super short field. The other touchdown offense scored in the first half was from the short field.
Right.
The defense created, and so you can't complain about that. So.
Absolutely, and then of course. We go up 28-0 pretty quickly in that first quarter, and then the Bridge team we thought we were going to see kind of settled in a little bit better, and they made some big plays over the middle, a couple of plays, and ended up tying up the game. Those of you, and you're always welcome to go back and watch it. We have that feed. It doesn't cost you anything here on 446 Sports, but they tie it up in the fourth quarter. And then we get a touchdown by Travis Adams. Again, just a very good job of moving the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Didn't have to have a big play every time. Just methodically move the ball.
Yeah.
Our running game is what won us. I think that and the defense, of course. But the running game, I mean, Case only threw – I have it here. Case threw the ball 7 times for 28 yards unofficially. He did not have to throw the ball. He didn't need to. With the way him and Travis were running the ball –
yeah,
we
were very comfortable going into the ball game that we felt like that the running game would be there.
Yes, sir.
And we felt like it was there all week, and it was. And so thank the Lord that it was too. But I thought our offensive line did a really good job of producing the ability for whether it was Case or Travis. I think Kenny Ponche scored a touchdown in the goal line packaging set. I thought the offensive line did a great job, and that it's one of the reasons they're here tonight, because we feel like they do a great job.
Unsung heroes.
Yeah.
It's really the offensive line. When you have a team that runs the ball as well as this Tioga team does, a lot of times people forget, the running backs get all the credit, which rightfully so. I mean, they're doing a great job. They're taking a lot of hits. But these guys in the trenches are getting such a push. And you saw it, especially Friday night early on. Travis had holes that I could have ran through on certain plays. Yeah. And that's all because of this offensive line that we have. And we're going to get to talk to a lot of those guys tonight. Coach Book and the crew is going to be here in a little while in one of the next segments.
Yes.
And we're going to get to see you. So we're going to give them a little love and a little food.
And they deserve that.
Yeah.
They deserve that.
Love and food, you can't go wrong. And then, of course, they marched down the field, and we're up 6. We missed the extra point, which is the only kick that we missed all year, all night. Bridges did a phenomenal job on that Friday night. They blocked the extra point, or we missed the extra point, and then Bridges starts marching down the field, and then 2 big flags, penalties at the end, brought them back a little bit. And if you could give us a rundown, I know you were able to, because we didn't get to see what the first flag was. We thought it might have been a player pushing the ball, the ball away, and they called a delay of game. But from what we were understanding, was it a 12 men on the field for the first penalty?
So they ran a play with 12 people, and so that's illegal participation, and it's a 15-yard penalty. I didn't know there was. I'll be honest, I've never seen that penalty called in 21 years of football. It's my first time to see that penalty happen. They did not move the chains or down marker, so they were able to backtrack and get it right and penalize them correctly. And so, obviously we're very grateful for that. I told I was praying and I said, Lord, you gave us you literally gave us a win tonight on something I've never heard of in my entire life.
Yeah, I've never heard that penalty. I mean, I've heard 12 men on the field.
Well, yeah, I've seen 12 men on the field a ton of times, and they, or you're breaking the huddle with 12 people, but to call it illegal participation because the play ran, you almost feel like once the ball snapped, it is what it is. If you get away with it, you get away with it. But you don't. And I thought, not just on that, of course, but I said this, that officiating crew was probably the best or the second best officiating crew that I've had in a high school football game. And I really like the way that they got together at times and talked about what the flag was for. Was the flag legitimate? They waved some off that it should have been because another man had a better view of it. And I thought, this is exactly the way that it should be.
Yes, sir.
And my hat goes off to those guys, and out of that Lafayette Association, and for the quality product that they put out there this past Friday night in officiating. It was really good.
Yeah, I did notice that. I had talked to Chuck even in between on the broadcast about. I did like how they if they were unsure about something, they're not afraid. And some officials, it's look, I'm gonna fake it till I make it. If I don't know something, I'm not asking anybody to help me.
Well, and what's always frustrated me about it is like one guy, sometimes they know the other guy's wrong, and instead of getting together, you don't know which guy's right and wrong from the bleachers or even from the sideline. Sometimes on the sideline, if you've trained up on who's supposed to be looking where and what, but they can overturn things. And to their credit, this particular crew did, and I saw a New Orleans crew do that in 2017 in the playoffs down in South Lafourche, and I was very impressed with that. And I know we're excited in our local association that we got 20 new officials this year, and so we're looking forward to those guys kind of getting the practice and all that they need in to be able to do that as well. We got some great guys officiating, who aren't new, who have been around a long time here as well. So,
yeah, we love our officials here. I'm a former official, not football, but on the softball side, so I understand, those who I think everybody that likes to complain should go try it one time and
Absolutely.
see how easy it's
Absolutely.
not. And appreciate these guys that's been doing it and what they deal with on a night-to-night basis on Friday nights. But then, of course, the two penalties that moves them back. You had that the penalty we were just talking about, and then they had to delay a game, which brought them back another 5 yards. So it allowed our defense to be, have a little bit of room. They're not quite pressing in the goal line defense.
Right.
And Max, ball thrown on Max's side over there at Cadmus, and it's an incomplete fourth down ball game going into victory formation. Big win for the Tioga Indians against a very, very good team. And like I said, I see this Breaux Bridge team going deep into the playoffs again this year, only losing one starter from last year.
Right. And, they're a quarterfinalist team last year. I don't know what the playoff structure yet will be.
Not yet,
but I think they're very capable of going many rounds into the playoffs as long as they're like the rest of us. They've got to be healthy.
Right.
Our secret is staying healthy. Our opponent's secret this week is staying healthy. Breaux Bridge's secret, they're just high school football. You can't afford a lot of injuries.
Absolutely.
Really, you can't afford any, to be honest.
Yeah, and so big night, of course. Case Malone not having to throw the ball too much, but he did run the ball very well. He had 9 carries, 59 yards, unofficial type on our statistics, thanks to Mr. McCormick, our statistician there. Travis Adams had 16 carries, 95 yards and some touchdowns, and he was our Quebedeaux player of the game, was Travis Adams. Our cool play of the game was that interception return. Our Southern Air cool play of the game was Mr. Max Cadmus. That is back-to-back weeks from Max with interception returns and touchdowns.
Yeah.
And that really changed the entire momentum. Don't get me wrong, marching down the field, and we didn't score quick. We took some time and marched down there, and that's what you want to do. And then just that quick turnover was it kind of changed the landscaping and got that momentum, we call it, on the Tioga side.
Well, obviously all those kind of plays are big plays, but it did lend itself to our defense being on the field continually.
Yes, sir.
And that did prove to be a problem later on. They in total played 76 plays Friday, and that's too many, to be honest with you. Nobody can withstand that 76 plays versus a spread offense with a lot of fast people running around. So that makes it very difficult in the fourth quarter to play the quality of defense you were playing in the first quarter.
Correct.
Because this is the way the human body works. But our defense hung in there, and at the end, we were blessed with some penalties, and that allowed the defense to make the one stop that they needed to make.
Absolutely. So. And, we've talked about it. No matter how good of a DB you are, if you've got a quarterback that rolls out and he runs, it's hard to guard that receiver for that long. And that seemed to what kind of happened as Breaux Bridge started to roll out the quarterback Hyperlight, roll out and find receivers, especially over the middle. They kept finding like a little soft spot in the zone or kind of right over the middle and making a couple plays.
He's so athletic. You can't cover people. And that's why, in 7-on-7, you almost always score.
Right.
Because a real passing situation in high school football, you have on average 2.6 seconds to complete a pass. Well, in 7-on-7, you get 4 seconds with nobody rushing you or bothering you. And then, Friday night, his feet enabled him to have way longer than normal because he's fast and he's agile, and it's just hard to – he's a flag football national champion. Is what I like to call him. They could win some flag football games for you because you can't tackle them. And so people are going to inevitably be open. I don't care what level of football you're on. Right. That's going to happen. So unfortunately for us, it did happen a few times, but thank the Lord it didn't happen one time too many. So.
Absolutely, and give it a little shout out. Of course, Max had the interception return, but he also had a blocked extra point. I had Max on that. That's from my view. It looked just like it was Max. That's what I had. But, man, a name that I called, it seemed like I was calling so much, is Caleb Andrus.
Yeah.
That young man, and I'm telling you, when he hits somebody, brother, he hits somebody.
He brings a little something to the party.
My
You
goodness.
know, he brings a little something to the party. He's a guy that you like to get off the bus first,
Yeah.
you know, and is the way we word that in coaching. But he's a great kid. He's yes sir, no sir. And then after the game Friday, he had, I think, 12 tackles, 7 solo, 2 sacks. And then after everybody else is in the locker room, he's helping the coaches load the trailer.
That's the kid you want.
I mean, that's the kind of kid you want. And he was our in-house player of the week.
Saw that,
and
yeah.
we said, hey, you know, this guy, for all of you young guys who are looking for a role model, like, this is a great role model for you, because not only did he perform exceptional on the field, but he was being a leader on the sideline after the game, not feeling entitled, not feeling special about himself, but said, hey, Coach, what can I do to help you? And so, you know, just that's the kind of quality that you want to be contagious.
And what class is he? Is he a?
He's a junior.
He's a junior, so
Yes.
that's good. So you got 2
Yes,
more
sir.
years of this young man. And like I said, we didn't call his name last year. I don't even know if he was on the team last year. Or
He's a new
he didn't
addition
play.
to the team this year.
He
Yes.
impressed us so much. I'm telling you, it looked like he's been playing 4 years, and he's a 4-year senior starter.
Yes.
You know, it's the way he hit, and boy, when he just hit somebody, you could hear it up in the press box.
Yeah, I don't want to be tackled by him, to be honest.
Very,
with you.
very. So that's the Bro Bridge, of course, coming out the win, 34-28. Tioga is in the winning seat again after week 2. We're going to take a little break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk to Coach Book and some of the offensive linemen, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the night off with Coach Kevin Cook. This is the Reservation Roundup here live at Quebedeaux in Pineville every Thursday night at 7 p.m. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Everybody dancing all night long. Everybody dancing all night long. Everybody dancing all night long. Somebody's dancing to my song.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years.
Football, and we are going to hold. And welcome back, everybody. I am Billy French, your voice of your Tioga Indians. We are live at Quebedeaux's Cajun Cafe here in Pineville every Thursday night. This is the Reservation Roundup. We are super excited about seeing the unsung heroes of the last Friday night's game, the linemen, the offensive linemen. I'm here with Coach Book and Coach Weatherford, and you can see behind us here we got a whole crew of Tioga Indian linemen. We're going to give them the night off, Coach Book. They don't have to talk or anything, so we're going to let you and Coach Weatherford do the talking. But what an absolute, and I'll say it, just a clinic put on by the offensive line all night long of moving the ball and making Travis Adams and Case Malone look good.
Yeah, they do a great job. My center, my right guard, my right tackle I've had for 3 years, so they've been through some wars with me, and they're just, all 5 of them are great kids. You know, offensive linemen don't get a whole lot of praise. The offensive line coach don't get a whole lot of praise.
Yeah, unless something's not
It
right.
says something's going wrong, so we have to change 10,000 blocking schemes or whatever. But they're just humble kids, you know. And then around me, obviously, they can be themselves, and they're run backs just like me. So, but they're great kids.
Well, I'm telling you again, and we know because of course my kid started off as an offensive lineman and swapped to the defensive side. You never get any praise unless we're having a bad night. We cannot run the ball or whatever. But you could see, and those of you who did not be able to catch the game, you could go back and watch it on 446 Sports. This Tioga offensive line created holes that an old man like me could have ran through early on in that ball game. Travis and Case had holes, like humongous holes. They weren't getting touched until they were getting into the secondary, and that's why, you know, Travis had 95 yards and 3 touchdowns. Case had 60 yards rushing. That read option was working so well, and if the offensive line don't block, that read option is going to get blown up in the backfield.
Yeah, they make good calls, and like I said, most of them have seen everything. Coach Mutter does a fantastic job of, spring ball. He throws everything imaginable at us. Every stunt, every formation, you know, anything you can possibly imagine, we've attempted to block. I'm not saying we blocked it well, but we've attempted to block. So, and believe it or not, a lot of those guys that are additional to the offense, like Case and our receivers, make blocking easier. I've been the O-line coach this is my 5th year, and if you don't have exceptional receivers, it doesn't soften the box for us, and even when the box is loaded, they still have to respect those guys. So it's a complete offensive effort. So. Oh,
absolutely, and that's exactly what an offensive line coach is supposed to say. But, you know, we know that we can only go as far as our offensive linemen take us. That's it. And we don't have you don't have 6'5", 300-pounders like some schools might have. But our guys are super strong, and that goes to show on the weight room with you guys. Not only are they quick off the ball, but, man, they're super strong. And you can watch it. They just push back that defensive line. And that Brobridge team, which y'all know, is a phenomenal team. That team is going to probably go pretty far in the playoffs, as Coach Cook and I were talking about earlier. And I'm telling you, you guys, you got such a crew, and I want you and Coach Weatherford to maybe just kind of introduce the crew here behind you. They don't have to talk, but if you could just maybe introduce them and kind of say what position they play.
Okay, I got this guy behind me right here. This is Braden Timmer. This is my smart center. He's the highest ACT score on the offensive line, so he's at a good spot touching the football.
And he likes golf. And
he does like golf.
Likes golf.
I don't know if he's any good, but
I could easily take you.
For sure.
But no, go ahead.
I got my left tackle right here, Jaden Haggard. The guy plays next to him right here at left guard is Tucker Landry. My right tackle over there is Preston Rodriguez, and then his co-partner down there, right guard, is Gustavo the Flying Taco.
Gustavo the Flying Taco. I love it. That's awesome. Well, we a couple of these guys are seniors, so we got a pretty good senior class on the offensive line, right?
Yeah, the senior, the right guard, and so Timmer, Gustavo, and Rodriguez are all seniors.
I got you. Well, I'm telling you, they made it. We haven't had to throw the ball much this season. You know, of course, the Bolton game was a little different. You know, that kind of got out of hand, and so did the Pro Bridge game, but he kind of made it a game. But the way that we opened off the game Friday night is just methodically. We didn't have to score fast. We just methodically moved the ball. We getting 8-9 yards out of chunk type of plays, and penalty-wise, we haven't had very many penalties this year. It's been a pretty clean. There's always going to be a couple.
Well, then we knock on wood.
We knock on wood. But
O-line coaches are superstitious too. You know, just as far as getting an award. I know they fussed at me or whatever. We try to pull back on all that stuff because usually the next week we don't block very well for whatever reason. So I'm superstitious about all that type of stuff, so I try
no
to keep
praise.
that to myself.
Yeah, you can't give yourself any praise or anything. Well, I mean, you talk to these young men, of course. Coach Weatherford, if you get you on the mic a little bit, you see these young men every day. Are they pumped for this Pineville matchup that we're going to be taking on here this Friday night?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Is it on? It might. Yeah, make sure we got that. There we go. Go ahead.
Absolutely, they are. It's definitely rivalry week. This is obviously a big game for both Tioga and Pineville. You see it throughout our school. They're just excited about it, and it's something that as a graduate of Tioga, I'm pretty excited about it as well. It's been part of me for 30 years, so it's pretty awesome to be on this side.
We have a show every Sunday night where all the play-by-play guys get together here at Quebedeaux, and we talk about the games that happened. And they asked me, me and Mia, I was a Tioga kid. My kids went to Tioga and all that. They're like, how big is this game? And I said, well, the Pineville game is big, but I think now that they've moved up to 5A and over the years, but when we were there, it was all 4A. Well, at least when I was there.
Yeah.
We were both 4A, same district, everything. I think it's more of a rivalry week for the parents than it is the kids. I mean, they still want to play and they want to beat Pineville. But, man, it was a big, big deal when we were playing because that was it. It was Tioga, Pineville, and that was it. That's when all the shenanigans would happen.
Yeah.
They steal the cannon. They do all this stuff. Now I think it's more for the parents more than it's for the kids. And I'm okay with that because now, you play against a team that you're going to play against more often. It might be a Grant or a Neville, because that's who that's in our conference, and we always want to beat that Neville. But it's still a big deal because we're going to have a packed house Friday night. And Absolutely. So you're a Tioga alumni, so you know how big this game is going to be for you and all the family and the community.
Absolutely, and I was on the other side of this for a couple years. But I'm happy to be back on this side.
Oh, we got them swapped over.
I swapped over, so I'm back. I'm back home, and it's one of those things. Just like you said, it's definitely a community thing as well. It's not just the school, the community as a whole. I think, like you said, it's going to be a packed house tomorrow night, and I'm pretty excited to be on the right sideline.
That's right. And look, I love Brian Bell. That is a very dear friend of mine. He helped my son be a great defensive player. And I'll root for him every week of the year except for this week. This is week.
Absolutely.
And look, I have a little bet with the voice of Pineville, Rich Dupree, the mayor of Pineville, and I want to put it on him. I told him we're going to feed him. We're going to take care of him up in the press box and say we'll have something to eat. But we're going to whoop your butt. I didn't say it in those nice terms, but because it was off air. But, it means a lot for me, to come in there, and we want to beat Pineville. And Pineville, with having a win, they struggled last year. They come into this game off of a loss to Menard, and they're wanting to have a bounce-back game. And I told them, I said, look, we're going to win at least 34-17. We can hang it up, at least that. It might be worse. So I'm hoping I don't have to eat any crow, and I'm hoping these guys here keep blocking for all these guys. And Coach Book, this is your 5th year, you said, with Tioga?
6th year.
6th year.
Coach Cook, I got to get my foot in the door coaching linebackers my first year here. I jumped on whatever opportunity to be part of Coach Cook's done a great job.
He's phenomenal, yes.
And like I said, I was on the staff with Coach Bell and Coach Tripp last week, and just some great guys that know a lot of football. So they welcomed me with open arms, and I've been home ever since. It's a great place.
Now, where are you from originally?
So I went to Menard. I'm from Alexandria.
Okay.
So the Eagles won against Pineville, so that's a double-edged sword for me. So I'm good. I'm good with that. They give me a hard time about that, But when everybody can have success against Pineville, I guess that's a good thing. So I guess so.
It is. That's what the rivalry is for, brother. That's what the rivalry. The reason I was asking, I was like, well, what do you think about this Pineville-Tioga rivalry, being that now you've experienced it 6 years?
Well, I have great respect for Coach Bell. I think, I've never been a head coach, so there's things that happen, that you have to progress with whenever you inherit a program, whether it's good or bad. And a lot of people have opinions about coaches and how they do stuff and don't have a clue how things are ran and the things, staying up 2:30 in the morning, washing jerseys after you've gotten your butt whipped, and different stuff like that. So I have great respect for him. Everybody else on the staff, I don't know who they are. I mean, I've shaken their hands a couple of times, but other than Coach Bell, that's it. Like I said, I'm from the other side of the river, so just being over here is kind of heightened the rivalry and built more relationships. But other than that, you know.
Yeah,
so.
they got those message boards, guys that love to hide behind a keyboard and
For sure.
say, hey, fire, he can't do it. Not knowing that, you know, you got to build. You got to build
For
it.
sure.
And he's having to start from junior high and work his way up. And, of course, open enrollment type stuff, that it doesn't make it easy.
It's crazy. The whole parish is crazy.
It really is, because, you know, you basically, you really have to win in order to get the top players.
For sure.
But it's hard to win when you don't have the players. It's kind of you know what I mean? You got to build, and that's something I'm super proud of Coach Cook. He's been able to do, and he's been able to, but he did the same thing, and I'm sure Coach Bell's doing that over there. But he started at the junior high level. Coach Racine in the junior high, they do a phenomenal
He does a great job.
And they go hand in hand with this high school. You know, you don't want to run completely different offenses. That way, when they come up as a freshman, they're already acclimated to the offense. They already know what to expect. They already know, and it makes these players more comfortable. And, you know, it's nice to have a junior high that is successful, that you can start. I mean, look at us with Bridges this year kicking. That's huge. Having a kicker, and especially if you got one for 4 years that you don't have to worry about, that's pretty big.
Well, in the community as a whole, like Coach Weatherford said, and I was meaning to say this, we actually talked about this yesterday, just from being not so much an outsider, but just somebody that's new to this, you know, just the support. Mr. Barrios, awesome. You know, the facilities, awesome. The academics that a lot of people don't see, and I'm a teacher at Tioga High School, it's on the rise.
Absolutely.
You know, as far as with CTE, what I teach, you know, Coach Weatherford does our special education and stuff, supporting those kids that need the help, and it's phenomenal. Coach Perkins, that's on the camera, he does a great job.
Yep.
You know, Mr. Arrington, Mr. Lacombe, who just left. I mean, it's just the whole community as a whole. Just being here 6 years, it's just amazing.
And
So.
Coach Weatherford, you know, you played here, and you know, you said you went to school here. How does it feel to have such a community backing to where we have such a great turf? We got a new press box. We got a Jumbotron coming. We got new turf coming next year, while some people are just getting turf for the first time. It's nice to have a community that backs you up, right?
Absolutely. Like you mentioned, back in the early 2000s, we still had grass field, and unfortunately on our old sprinkler system, I ended up missing out on part of my senior year because of it. So I'm very excited that we have turf, and I'm even more excited that, like you said, the community has voted and passed that we're going to get updated turf, a brand new scoreboard, and
they call it a Jumbotron. It's kind of like a Jumbotron in a way.
And I'm pretty excited about the field house, because that's still the same field house that I was in.
Yeah.
And they've done obviously some modifications since I was there, but you know, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's pretty great that our community voted for that, and that's what they want.
Yeah, Coach Cook and I, we finished the show last week here at the Reservation Roundup talking about that new the new locker room and everything that we're going to get, and that's like stated. I mean, that's something to look forward to. And he did say that these freshmen, I believe, are going to be able to reap the benefits of that. Now, some of these guys, these seniors, of course, they might not. But hey, you got turf all your career. I mean, we don't have rain outs. You know, it's stuff like that that is super impressive. And now Ash and Peabody are being able to reap some of the benefits too, now that they have the turf fields.
Right.
And it makes it a whole lot. I love it. I love the turf. I think it feels great. Of course, I'm not the one getting hit and shoved down into the turf, into the turf. But you know, it's nice to have that kind of backing on our community. So we appreciate the entire Ward 10 community and Wilton Barrios. Absolutely.
100%.
So that is going to do it for this segment here. We're going to take a break. This is the Reservation Roundup live at Quebedeaux. Now remember, every Thursday night at 7 p.m. you come in here. Make sure you're wearing something Tioga. If it's a hat, a T-shirt, or something, everybody that comes in during the show gets half off from Quebedeaux here, all the menus. So I'm Billy French. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Thank you, Coach Book. Thank you, Coach Weatherford. You're going to see the guys giving you rabbit ears behind you. And we're going to take a break. We're going to come right back on the Reservation Roundup at Quebedeaux Live.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
Everybody dancing all night long. Everybody dancing all night long. Everybody dancing all night long. Somebody's dancing to my song.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Billy French alongside Coach Kevin Cook. This is the Reservation Roundup every Thursday night at 7 p.m. here live at Quebedeaux's Cajun Cafe. And like we said before we took the break, come out every Thursday. This is the perfect night, Coach, to come out and bring your family for dinner.
it is.
If you come in with any Tioga gear on, you get half off of everything on the menu. And you can't go
It's
wrong.
just such an amazing thing. I don't know that we've ever been treated that good before. So my hat goes off to these guys over at Quebedeaux and what they're doing for the kids in our community, and that's a really, really great gesture by them.
And it's a huge menu. It's got everything from salad. So if you're not wanting a burger or whatever, but they have the pastas. Last week I took to go. I went and got a crawfish salad. It was like a regular salad, but then they put crawfish tails all over.
Oh,
It was
okay.
fantastic. Yeah, so look, we were talking off the air. We were talking about what we were eating. So we're having a good time here at the Reservation
That's right.
Roundup.
That's right.
But we're going to shift gears a little bit, Coach. We're going to go on. We just, of course, coming off the big win at Bro Bridge. Now we come into the crosstown. Well, I say crosstown. It's right around down the street. It's only a couple miles down the road. It's a big rivalry for the community, should I say. It's more, I think, now for the parents and the community more than it is for the players. It's one's 4A, one's 5A.
Right.
But Pineville, it's always a big game. Everybody wants to beat Pineville, and it's always a fun week during Pineville week.
It is. They go around and they tape over all the P's on every bulletin board and poster at school. There's a piece of tape over anything that has a P in it, and they, we'll have an awesome pep rally. Just all the fun high school things that you do for football, and so. You're supposed to have something like this with somebody, and it just happens to be us in Pineville.
Absolutely. And, of course, Pineville coming off of a tough loss last week against Menard. They lost 19-7. They got a left-handed quarterback over there, Jalen Whitty, and I'm sure you've watched plenty of tape all week long getting ready for this game. And then, of course, the Sebastian Millette, the running back. And of course, then they got the Landon guy, the two Landons. You got Landon Roberts and Landon Grimes as receivers.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you watch quite a bit of tape. And I'm excited to see what this secondary that has been lights out for us so far this season does to that lefty quarterback over there.
It's definitely a different feel, with the left-handed quarterback, and it even changes the structure of where the officials align for everything that they do. So, it's one of the questions that they ask you left-handed thrower, left-handed kicker, because it changes the dynamics for them.
Right.
And
you don't
so
think about that. That's
a lot
a
of
big
people
deal.
don't. A lot of people may not even have known that, but it does do a lot of things that are unique, and yes, so it changes a few things, the way that you may view it, but at the end of the day, it's still the same difference. He's still a quarterback, and he's still the head of the snake.
Right.
And so like all quarterbacks are, like they should be the leader, they should be the team captain. I believe he was one of the young men that Coach Bell brought to the Rotary Club, so he's one of their best kids in general, and so. I'll say this, any starting quarterback in 4 or 5A football is usually an exceptional person. And I don't think Pineville's quarterback is any exception to that rule. I think he's probably, from my understanding, a wonderful kid and a good leader on the field. And we're going to have to find a way to deal with him Friday night.
And you got some familiar faces on the other sideline. Of course, Coach Bell, was your defensive coordinator. You have Coach Webb. He's over there. And then, look, kind of showing my age and not saying anything bad against him, Coach Hall is over there. And, of course,
Love
Coach Hall
Hall
was my freshman football coach when I was at Tioga in 95 or 96, when I was a freshman in 95 or 96. And so it's a lot of familiar faces over there. So
Sure.
I'm sure there's some familiarity between you. You might know kind of what you think Coach Bell's going to do or Coach Webb's going to do.
There's that, and there's some hidden factors in there. A lot of people don't realize their linebacker coach is the men's leader at my church.
Oh, there we go.
One of my, and he's like a big brother to my sons, and
awesome.
he's almost like a son to me. And so, we love Coach Brown at our house. Coach Brown is over at our house actually every Sunday night for dinner.
Oh,
And
well, so there's some bragging rights
kind of
after this game,
yeah.
too, on
Well,
that. Little personal stuff. Yeah.
We're very careful. We don't talk about football.
Yeah.
If we talk about football, it's about LSU or it's about the Saints, but it's never about about ourselves during this particular week.
Right.
And then even actually in the weeks preceding this week. Now, after this week, it doesn't matter anymore.
fair and
Yeah, we'll talk about it, but we just have a general understanding. But and it has made the game a lot more fun for me. I have 3 guys who've coached for me over there right now, and Coach Brown, Coach Bell, and Coach Webb. And it's fun to see them having success and doing what they love to do. And I wish nothing but the best for them, except for this 3 hours a year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I said the same thing to Coach Book a little while ago. I said, Coach Bell, I highly respect him. Knew all he did with you and him and Coach Davis for my son when Jalen played for under Coach Bell on the defensive side. And I said I'll root for him every week except for this week. Of course, I'm not going to root for you. But he took a program over there in Pineville that was kind of in the nicest way. It was in shambles a little bit, and he's having to build it a little bit.
Yeah.
And as well as anybody, you build from the bottom and you build from the junior high. And he's getting a little. You could see the success starting to build. That was a huge win for them week 1 against Winfield when they beat Winfield, that Pineville team. Tough loss last week against Menard. They're hoping to bounce back against us, but I'm ready. Like I said, I've got a little side joke. It's not a bet, but a side joke with the mayor, Rich Dupree, who's the voice of Pineville.
Of course, yes.
And I told him I can't wait to rub it in. I said, we're going to feed you. We're going to make sure you got somewhere to be up there, where you're not in the elements. We're not on the roof anymore. I said,
well, that was terrible. Anytime you had to get on the roof at any press box, I don't care where the stadium's at, it's not a good experience.
And
it's not where you want to watch high school football from. You feel like you're in the Wizard of Oz about to take off is what it feels like.
I had to bring that table up the thing and hand it to him upstairs. And, of course, I guess that was 4 years ago now. But it's nice. He'll have a nice little spot. We're going to make sure I already got with the quarterback club. They're going to feed him and Nathan and the crew. So we appreciate them. But I cannot wait till Sunday night. when I can brag and because I've been talking smack in our little show on Sunday nights. I don't know if you had a chance to watch any yet. But when I walk in, I was like, where's the undefeated team sit down? Because I'm the only undefeated play-by-play guy in our group. And I want to continue that after this week.
I want you to. That's obviously been the goal since last Sunday night. And because that's how fast it goes.
Yeah.
You have a big win in Breaux Bridge on Friday. I think I got to my home at 2:30 in the morning and, was back at work a little bit before 10. I was in the field house and then you're watching Pineville because you've exchanged films and it's a fun week, but they're busy weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that it is easy to lose sight of what it means to everybody sometimes because your head's just down. And I don't always probably look at it like I should. I look at it from a PowerPoint standpoint. I'm a playoff guy.
Right.
Okay. I want to be in the playoffs. I want to win playoff football games. If I had to go, if I could trade going 0-10 but win a lot of playoff games, I'll do this. Now, of course, you can't do that.
Right,
but,
of course.
if you're 0-10, you're not in the playoffs. But I want to be in the playoffs, and this is a big game from a PowerPoint standpoint.
Yeah.
It's a must-win when you look at the math behind the scenes. But when you look into the community and you see the maroon, and then you see the red, and you talk to people, it does that part doesn't mean anything to them, and I understand that a lot better in my older age, I guess. But I'm excited about Friday. I think that it's going to be a great football game. In this series, there's only been one game that wasn't decided, within a couple of plays of each other, or one or two plays makes the swing, or literally a point or two.
Yeah.
When your son graduated and played for us, it was a barn burner.
Every year.
100% down the wire. We had the exhibition game of the quarterfinal team. To be honest, it didn't count for wins or losses in that COVID year, but my gosh, we were very blessed to have some of the most substantial athletes I've coached. But at any rate, it's always been an outstanding football game. I look for it to be that way Friday. I look for it to be a close football game that's won in the end by somebody. And,
Absolutely.
You just hope obviously we want to be that somebody. So
Well, this is the game of the year where people might not come to a football game all year. But this is the game that they're going to come to because it's the childhood rivalry.
It is, and that's the way fans are. Nobody wants to watch LSU and Slapstick University that they paid $1 million to come and get the devil kicked out of them.
I was there last year. I know.
Amen. Yes, we've all been that. I've been on that side. I've been Slapstick, so I get it. But at the end of the day, people want to see a good quality football game with two teams that they know and, your local area. And that's what you're going to see Friday night. You're going to see a good quality, well-coached football teams with great kids on both sides of the field, with a well-officiated, beautiful Friday night at the reservation. And unfortunately, only one team can win. And, generally in this series, it's been the team that, makes the least amount of mistakes. So.
Well, it's going to be a packed house at the reservation. You look forward to having the home game every other year when you play this.
Yes,
because the
absolutely.
gate is so good.
Yeah.
Because you bring in a ton of people. So make sure you come out and support. Look, we want, and I hammer this every show, we want you at the stadium.
Absolutely.
Nothing looks better for me is when I'm in that press box and I look over and I see a body in the seats watching the game and listening to the broadcast on 446 Sports. So please, we want you. Now, if you have family members and kind of we'll shift it over to you a little bit. You got your parents here tonight from Texas. And do they watch the games every week, I would imagine?
Yeah, my mom and dad, they came in from Kilgore. They live in Kilgore, Texas, and they came in. Actually, my son had knee surgery. You know that this morning. My oldest son's a senior offensive lineman. Unfortunately, had meniscus tear. Had that fixed this morning, and hopefully going to be on the flip side of it from here. So they said, well, look, we were coming for the Pineville game no matter what. So we'll just come in a day early and be with him. So they got to be with me here tonight at the show and have a good dinner together. But they're excited about the game. It's the one that, that they choose to drive in 200 miles one way to watch because they know it's going to be a good one.
Yes.
So.
That tells you the excitement of the Pineville. Still have that rivalry between Tioga and Pineville. So again, you can tell your people if they cannot possibly make the game, they can watch it on 446. It does not cost you anything. It is free. It is don't let the naysayers say anything different. It does not cost you anything. All you got to do is click and follow that. So that way, if you subscribe for free, it'll just give you updates when your reservation roundup's going to show up and when we're going to have the games, because we are going to be playing a Thursday night game later on the season against Pine Prairie.
Correct.
So that way you're updated on your phone and you don't have to be surprised by that. So we're going to take our final break here, and we're going to come back and we're going to wrap things up here. This is the Reservation Roundup with Coach Kevin Cook here live at Quebedeaux's Cajun Cafe here in Pineville, and we'll be right back after this break.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investment.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
Everybody dancing all night long. Everybody dancing all night long. Everybody dancing all night long. Somebody's dancing to my song.
And welcome back, everybody. Here we are getting ready to wrap it up. This is the Reservation Roundup with Coach Kevin Cook of your Tioga Indians. I am Billy French. We are not twins. We've already been told that multiple times for the last 4 or 5 years.
That's right.
We are not twins. We just happen to have really, really nice-looking bald heads.
That's right.
That's
good and round.
They always said, God only made a handful of beautiful heads. The rest he covered with hair.
That's right.
And we
That's
were
what I
blessed.
like to think. That's what I like to think.
We got a packed house here tonight at Quebedeaux. As you can see, Coach Perkins is going to scan it around and let everybody see a lot of Tioga people in the building. Some of them's already left. But remember, every Thursday night here at Quebedeaux, if you come in, if you have Tioga gear on, you get half off of everything on the menu. You cannot beat that. You can feed an entire – you can't go to McDonald's for that price. From what I'm telling you, you come look at the menu, you're going to save some money. This is a perfect night to have the family meal here at Quebedeaux.
Definitely.
So that we got just a couple of minutes left here, Coach, and it's a big, big week. We've talked about last week's game against the big win against Bro Bridge. We're talking about this coming up tomorrow night now that we moved the show from Tuesday to Thursday. But tomorrow night's big, big game against Pineville, and we're just excited about everything that's going on in the Tioga community. You and I talked a little bit last week at the end of the show about how some great things that are coming on board for your Tioga Indians, the new field house that's in the process of getting ready. We've got the new scoreboard that's coming next. Will be ready for next year as well, and of course new turf. And we've got a couple, over across the river. Now that Peabody has turf, now has turf. We're going in there and we're getting our second turf. We're kind of getting a upgraded turf, and that's a big thing for the community.
It is a big deal. I was actually able to be on Peabody's field on Tuesday night for a little game, and and it's nice. But I think the product that we're going to put out there is going to be substantial. And my idea right now is that I want a lot more red in it, and so get a lot more red onto the field and just the way that it looks. I think people are going to be very pleased with the aesthetics of what we have moving forward. Within the next few years between the turf and the jumbotron and the glass encased 2-story field house, it's going to give just a tremendous environment and be just a very pleasurable thing for our community to go out and to enjoy for multiple different events besides football games.
Right, yeah, because it's used for a lot of other things. Now, you're going to do kind of like the Boise State, except for how theirs is all blue. You're going to go that much red?
I think that's illegal now. I think they've made that. I don't know for sure. No, I would not do that, but I don't even think you can. So.
Yeah. No, but that's exciting that we're going to have, the new updated. It's going to look, of course, we're blessed. I say it every year how blessed this community is with all the sports that reap the benefit of a thriving community that is not afraid to pitch in and help, especially with local sports here at Tioga.
That's right.
We're blessed beyond a lot of people that don't get to this. So this freshman class will get to have a brand new field house from what I'm understanding. And then, of course, the Jumbotron next year. So that's all because of this great Ward 10 community. Wilton Barrios, just awesome.
Mr. Wilton is so instrumental in all of that, and he has been so great to every school, from the smallest elementary school. My wife is a teacher at Mary Golf, and for all of our schools, no matter what, he has worked so hard, for every one of us and every one of the people, every one of your kids out there in this community. Like, he has worked so hard to be sure they have nothing but the best, whether it's a pre-K, kindergarten, or a 12th grade football player. They will, in his mind, he wants them to have only what is amazing. And he has done everything he could to make that happen, and still is. And, I can't say enough about what a great impact he's had on the education of our kids here in the Tioga area. So.
Absolutely, yeah. You see he's got a little nameplate up in that press box with his name on it.
That's right.
Anytime he wants to come, he's got a spot in the air conditioner.
That's his place.
And that's it. That's got Wilton Barrios. So come out Friday night. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. at the reservation, your Tioga Indians will be taking on the Pineville Rebels. And this is a huge game. We want to pack the house. We want as many tickets. Look, come out there. Bring the entire family. If you're going to come to a game this year, this is the one you want to come to.
Yes.
Very community-driven. We want to do that. So, again, my name is Billy French. I'm luckily, thanks to Coach Kevin Cook, I am the voice of Tioga Indians, and I appreciate him wanting me to come back again this year. And this is the Reservation Roundup every Thursday night at 7 p.m. We're going to be here at Quebedeaux, so make sure you come. We want to pack the house. We're going to have cheerleaders later on. We're going to have some band. We're going to try to get the band. We're going to try to get a lot of people in and out of here, and we want to thank Quebedeaux so much for everything that they reminder. I'm going to keep saying it. 7 o'clock here on Thursday nights. If you come in with Tioga gear on, it doesn't matter if it's a hat, whatever, you get half off your food, and that alone is we are super thankful to Quebedeaux. So for Billy French and Coach Kevin Cook here, and our producer, who we could not do anything without, Chuck Perkins.
That's right.
He's behind the camera. He's making everything roll in the commercials and everything. We want to say thank you for coming out. Come just pack the house tomorrow night. Thank you again for watching. This has been the Reservation Roundup with Coach Kevin Cook. Thank you so much, and God bless.